scandalous, graphic, naked photos all over the internet, reportedly of Rihanna. But is it really her? Tonight, the shocking and raunchy nude photo scandal raises a whole slew of tantalizing questions. Where did they come from, and what is Rihanna saying? And Chris Brown is actually being accused of leaking the nude photos. Well, we have his angry response to those allegations, plus details on one particular racy photo that features a guy who looks just like Chris Brown. Is that really Brown with underwear on his head? Joining me tonight in Hollywood is Carlos Diaz. No underwear on his head. He's a correspondent for Extra. Also in Hollywood, Arthel Neville, a TV journalist. Okay, so two of the photos that are out there in this batch clearly show a woman, guys, who looks like Rihanna wearing clothes, and then a few more photos that are just, well, plain naughty. But we don't see a face in those. Carlos, you have seen these photos. What do you think?
Right. You know, the thing is, I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, these are definitely Rihanna, unless I see a picture of Rihanna with her face naked. Because like you said, the pictures where you see Rihanna's face, she has clothes on, then you see naked pictures with no face. But what I can tell you is this. Island Def Jam is trying to have everyone that puts these pictures on their website take them down immediately. So that's an indication right there that it might be Rihanna. Rihanna's people have not come forward and said anything about it not being Rihanna. So you would think they would jump at the opportunity to say, this is not our client. That's number two. And number three, I mean, you know, this is not the best thing in the world for her image. So if it wasn't her, they'd be doing some kind of spin control to say, this is not hers, do not believe the hype.
Yeah, I want to talk to you more about that in just a moment. But one of the things that's so striking is that in two of the tamer photos, Rihanna appears to have taken the photos herself in a mirror. And in the mirror is written, I love you, I miss you, and it's signed Robin. Robin happens to be Rihanna's real first name. Arthel, that's a pretty heavy-duty coincidence, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm not so sure if, in fact, these photos, if indeed they are Rihanna, we don't know that. I'm not so sure they're not going to, I don't think they're going to hurt her image, quite frankly. I think that once she got past the alleged beating incident, to me, that's more damaging, quite frankly. So, you know, she's an artist, she's a beautiful girl, and I think this is just going to go by the wayside.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of people are also saying. Hey, you know what? People take pictures like this all the time. I always say, if you're going to be famous, don't ever take nude photos, or if you are famous, Rihanna, because they're going to come out. I mean, that's just what always happens. Rihanna has come under fire, of course, as we know, right or wrong. A lot of people have gone after her for remaining silent after Chris Brown allegedly beat her and then was arrested after that. Carlos, I imagine right now, as you're saying, this is the last thing her image does need, whether or not she cares all that much.
You know, AG, I completely agree with you that I don't think this is right or good or anything for Rihanna, but I talked to a record rep today who told me that Rihanna, in fact, was the one who leaked these photos because right now she's in between projects. She has nothing else to talk about, or no one's really talking about her right now. So she put these photos out to put herself back in the news. I don't agree with that, but I'm just giving you the scoop on what people in the record industry are saying.
Yeah, and of course, we have not confirmed that. We have no idea if there's any truth to the idea that she may have put these photos out. And for their part, Rihanna's record label, Def Jam, as you mentioned, Carlos, has sent letters to several websites that feature the photos saying, hey, take them down, cease and desist. And they go on to call the photos, quote, a violation of the artist's rights. Now, Arthel, Rihanna's record label not really denying that it's Rihanna in the photos, which I think they would do.
Yeah, you would think they would do that. But, you know, piggybacking on something that Carlos said, you know, perhaps this is the distraction. And quite frankly, you know, if I am Rihanna, and again, we don't know if she put out these photos or who put these photos out, quite frankly. But if it is, in fact, a distraction, so be it. Because really, let's move on from that other horrible situation that she was in.
Yeah, well, in terms of who may have leaked these things, one interesting photo including a man who looks just like Chris Brown, apparently wearing underwear on his head, and celebrity blogger Perez Hilton writing it had to be Chris Brown who released the photos. Brown's representatives shot back. They tell Showbiz Tonight, quote, this is both a false and defamatory statement. Chris has not released or leaked any photos of Rihanna or anyone else for that matter. Very quickly, Carlos, really, what would the point of Chris Brown releasing these photos be, especially considering he may be in them?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think there's any point at all. And one point that I want to make before we go is that these photos, from what people I've talked to, if they are Rihanna and Chris Brown, were taken before the incident, not after the incident. Well,